Welcome to another beautiful episode of Unraveling Her with me, your host, Nikki Alaris. Thank you so much for being here. It means a lot to those who have been staying tuned and listening to the show from across the world. I was looking at my analytics and have noticed how far people are listening from, which is insane. I'm getting people from Asia, from Europe, from South America. It's all over. And so even just a fraction of you guys listening from those parts of the world means a lot to me. So thank you so much. My heart extends to you. Lately, I've been feeling a little, how do I describe this? I've been doing some soul searching, for sure, trying to manifest a lot more and create affirmations every day. And I've been a little bit more consistent about that. I've been waking up saying a few of my affirmations that I'm very content with. And because before these past few weeks, I have been feeling like a little off. And now I'm starting to feel like myself again after kind of doing some soul searching and figuring out the things that make me happy. Because for a while I've been trying to discover what my purpose was, and slowly I'm learning what my purpose is. And by doing so, I'll let you guys know how I've been finding out what my purpose in life is, because I feel like too often people are struggling to figure out what their purpose is in life, and too often we feel like life starts to feel meaningless. And trust me, I've felt that way. I felt like, okay, I'm just clocking into work every day. I don't feel like I'm doing anything with my life. Like, what am I supposed to do on this earth, right? And that's just a part of being in your 20s, trying to figure it out, trying to figure out what you're good at, trying to figure out what your purpose is, essentially, what you're destined to do. And believe it or not, most of us want to make an impact on this world, and I myself included want to make a difference, want to leave this earth knowing I've done something. And a few weeks ago, I started to take inventory of the things that make me happy. And I wrote down a little paragraph of what my purpose is, and then I'll also enlighten you with the things that make me happy. So this is what I had written down, because I was trying to identify, like, what is my purpose? What am I good at? What can I do for the people, right? And ever since I was younger, I've had that same mentality. I've wanted to make an impact, and I've kind of written something similar. So this is what I've written. I've always wanted to help people, whether it's by giving or educating. The people I want to help are women and children, as well as those who were caught in the crossfire. I love the idea of bringing people together. A part of me feels like I need to be giving. Apart from food and music, you know what else brings people together? A home. A home is a place to cultivate connection with the ones you love. It's a place you can feel safe and simply savor the presence of every moment, welcoming friends and creating new ones. And so that's kind of just a little bit of what I had written down. And slowly I'm trying to figure out how I can bring all of this together within my purpose. And what I had written down that made me happy was a few things: paintings, poetry, tea, beautiful interiors and exteriors, dancing, ancient history, seeing people smile, any body of water, bubbles, bubble tea, hiking, camping, all things nature. helping people and educating people, puppies, physics, music. So those are the things I've written down that make me happy, because I started to say aloud the things or the moment I feel happy. Like when I'm driving and I see a beautiful house, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I'm so happy. Or I see a couple walking down the street or on the sidewalk near the lake, and I see them just exist beautifully. Or the other day, I was sitting down outside in this park, and these couple were just laying down on the grass, holding each other, looking at the sky. And I told myself, that makes me so happy. Just to see people smile, be in love. And the more you verbalize the moments you're happy, that rewires your brain, that rewires your mindset. Because when you verbalize things and you can hear it, your brain will believe it. And that's the power of affirmations. That's not the topic of this episode, but it's just something I've noticed, because I've been more consistent with saying my affirmations every morning. And I'll share with you guys a few things that I say. It's the 3 S's. I'm successful, smart, and sexy. I'm capable of anything that comes my way. Those are a few. And then there's another one, I forget, but I say it when I'm at work because I have a Post-it note that keeps me going every day. And I integrate these sayings throughout my day, because when you focus on the good things, it really changes your perspective in things. You know, what you consume, what you eat is who you are. The music you listen to, what you scroll through on social media, what you eat, it's all a part of you. But the reason I started doing all of this is because I felt like I wasn't on the right path. I felt like I've been trying out different paths to see which one was right. And that's what you do when you're trying to figure it out. But as I started taking inventory of the things that made me happy, it really helped me navigate my purpose. And I've always wanted to help people, and slowly I'm trying to rediscover the parts of my childlike mentality, childlike essence that really makes days like this, mundane days, feel a little bit more exciting. Doing silly things like blowing bubbles or playing music from the 2000s, throwback music, and keeping it light, you know. I feel like when life starts to feel meaningless, it's because we are holding on to so much when we should be releasing. Too often people are holding their fists unintentionally with tension, holding on to things, mindsets, past relationships, and past ideas. They keep holding on to the past mistakes, shoulda, coulda, woulda. And I'm speaking from experience because I felt that way. I felt like I held so much anger, and I'm still slowly learning to release that and slowly open up, release the tension from my body, from my mind, and breathe slower again. And taking things as they are, accepting things as they are, not taking life too seriously. And oh my goodness, let me tell you, when people tell me that, when I was working these different jobs, especially when I was working at the bank, my gosh, working at the bank was so exhausting. Dude, it was mentally draining. There was days where I came home from work and I just literally put on my workout shoes and went for a run outside because I just needed to release some tension, because I was like, I'm not gonna cry right now. I can't. And that's my alarm clock. Okay. And go from, because I didn't have I didn't have time to cry, and like I just need to do something active. I need to release this tension. So I'd go for a run. But basically, my branch manager was like, you gotta learn to not take things too seriously in general and at work, you know? And that truly made an impact on me, because if you work at a bank or any financial institution, any medical institution, you're going to build thick skin. You're going to meet so many different people with so many different emotions that can get overwhelming, and it just, helps you build thick skin. But basically, what I'm trying to say is don't take anything too seriously. Life is so fucking short to take anything too seriously and to let certain people and what they say affect your day. My God. You gotta let it go. You gotta let that shit go, because why let what someone else's opinion think of you ruin your day? Why let somebody's opinion ruin your day? Like, there's only so many hours in a day. Why let that dictate how you're gonna feel? Let that shit go, because you gotta get your swag back on. Put your sunglasses back on. Go blow some bubbles and dance, because I don't know. Personally, I just don't have time to be sad anymore. And when I do feel sad, I've learned to I've learned to recognize my habits when I start to feel depressed or sad, and I've found healthier ways to cope. When you've recognized those certain triggers or those hints or clues for when you feel like you're getting sad or depressed again, it's really important to know how to cope. For the longest time, I just was marinating in my sadness. I was letting it take me, I was allowing it to affect me in such a way where I was harming myself, in a way where I wasn't eating, and I was just in it. I was deep in that rabbit hole. And so over time, I've slowly started to recognize how I respond to it, how I'm coping with it in healthier ways, like going out for a run instead of crying, or just moving my body. Because if you feel like so many things are piling up on you, it's so much stress and it's so overwhelming from the external world, and it feels so heavy to hold inside, get out of the environment you're currently at, go outside and change the environment you're in. It makes such a big difference. It makes such a big difference, because you're changing your sensory. You're exposing yourself to a different environment, and you're seeing different things, you're hearing different things, you're feeling the wind, you're seeing the trees. And let me tell you, it sounds like wishy-washy and like woo-woo, but like, touch some fucking grass, go outside and allow yourself to reconnect with nature. That's something I wish I would have told myself maybe 5 years ago when I was really going through it. It's 5 to 7 years ago when I was really going through it. And too often we get so overwhelmed with the impact of life and stuff, and it just becomes a lot. So what I'm trying to say is, when you recognize those symptoms of you feeling like you're going to go back into that rabbit hole, try to slow things down. Shut your mind down by distracting yourself in healthier ways, by going to the gym, going outside, dancing, moving, because we're in the state of stagnancy, and the only way to get out of that is to literally move. Move, call a friend, talk to somebody you can vent to, and if you can't vent to anybody, write that down. Let me just show you guys. It's right there. But my journal, I have 5 journals in the span of how many years? I've had 5. And I've written down my deepest, darkest moments on there when I couldn't tell anybody. And so that was my way of releasing. Whether it's journaling, dancing, moving my body, going and treating myself out to eat, because oh my gosh, when I was in college, for the 2 years I was getting my associates, I was going through burnout like crazy. And so if I felt exhausted, depressed, or sad, I'm like, let me go reward myself with something sweet like bubble tea, or go eat out. I would eat out all the time, fast food, buffets, whatever, you name it. And it reflected on my skin. But when I was feeling sad, I was like, you know what? I'm sad. I should try to make myself happy and go eat something. Or when I feel like I had a great day, I would go reward myself and eat out, you know? And so just you find what works for you and what doesn't. And slowly I was like, okay, my skin's getting really bad. I think it's because all the food I'm eating from the buffet. So I had to stop. If you can't tell, it's gotten a little bit better, and my skin isn't as bad, but that's not the point. You find what works for you and what doesn't. And by doing so, you learn to figure out your purpose, what makes you happy. And truly, the root of your purpose lies within the things that make you happy. I'll say that again. The root of your purpose lies in the things that make you happy. And so I tell my little sister all the time, because she's going to be attending college in a few years, I'm like, if you really want to pursue a bachelor's, don't make the same mistake a lot of people make before they go to college, which is go to a 4-year school and choose a major you think you'll like, and that'll make enough money. Because the biggest thing people look for is a major that'll make them enough money. And I told her, find out in the next 4 years the things that make you happy. Focus on the things that make you happy, and find a major that aligns with that. Because I made that same mistake of trying to find a major that made enough money, and I majored in business because I knew that opens a lot of doors. But here I am, changing my career paths, and I'm learning and I'm growing. And so slowly I've felt a little bit lighter. I feel so much lighter already today, just talking about this aloud and saying my daily affirmations, because I've learned a lot about myself through the things I've been through. Essentially. It might be confusing, but yes. If you guys got anything out of that, it's to find the things that make you happy, that'll help you navigate your purpose. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you want to hear any more stories, also let me know. And I also want to hear your stories. I love hearing people's stories. Comment them down below, and I'd love to hear it and share your stories as well. As much as I love talking about myself and my experiences, I would love to hear yours and share that with me and the world. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for being here. I love and appreciate you so much. And also, I should say this. If you're not already, follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, all my other external things I'm on out there on the web. And I'd appreciate that so much. This helps me build this podcast. It'll motivate me to keep doing this and share the love and the knowledge that I carry with me as I'm growing. Mwah. Salamat.